Alright guys, so this video I'm going to show you guys how to do the color blending with color pencils instead of crayons. So the beginning process is pretty much the same. So this first little square I'm going to show you how to do the color blending without any kind of tools or materials, just using the different pressures of your color pencil. And again, I have the two colors from either direction and I'm coloring in towards the middle and overlapping those colors. And when I'm overlapping those colors, or as I come closer to the center of my little square, I'm going to lessen the pressure of my color pencil. Okay, and so here you can see I'm just kind of coloring over those layers and I'm starting to blend that transition from one color to the other color so that we see that smooth transition from the blue to the purple to the red. Okay, the second box is going to be pretty much the same process, except I'm going to show you how to use the white color pencil as like a blending tool. So same thing, coloring with those pressures, that changing of the pressure from one side to the other side as the colors mix together in the center. And so now with the white crayon, or excuse me, the white color pencil, I'm going to be coloring in a different direction. And so I'm going to be going horizontally instead of vertically. And you can kind of see how the color pencil kind of smooths out the like color pencil mark. It doesn't make it look so choppy or so chunky. It kind of smooths it out so that it's a smooth transition. However, because it is a white color pencil, the white color pencil does make it lighter and it does get dirty. So I go ahead and I went back with like the color again, so that way you couldn't see too much of a difference, but so that way it kind of has that smooth transition and there's no gaps. The third box here, I'm going to show you guys how to use the Kleenex. Again, I'm not too fond of the Kleenex. I don't really like using the Kleenex so much because when you use the Kleenex to help with the blending to smooth out that transition, it pulls a lot of that color off, especially with the color pencil. Um, I'm going to show you real quick how to do that blending with the Kleenex, and it literally like wipes away the color. Okay, and I'm not even pressing that hard. And so I personally, again, I don't like using the Kleenex because it basically makes a big old mess and it pulls off a bunch of that color. Instead of blending it, it kind of just removes the color for you. It like wipes it away. Okay, and then you end up having to go back over. So here I'm kind of just showing you, instead of doing circular motions, you're just kind of doing the horizontal motions instead of circular motions. But again, I'm not too fond. I'm not a big fan of the Kleenex. I would prefer to use anything else but a Kleenex. So here in this fourth box, I'm going to show you how to use the Q-tip. So the Q-tip is kind of similar to the Kleenex, but not as bad. It still removes the color, but not as bad. And so you'll kind of do the same thing with the Q-tip in that horizontal motion or the vertical motion, as long as it's a different motion than the way that you drew your colors. The Q-tip kind of does a better job at actually like filling in the gaps between your color pencil markings. I kind of like the Q-tip a lot better than I thought I would, but again, it does pull off a lot of that color and you have to go over with it again with your colors so that way it's a little bit brighter. So here in the fifth little box, I don't have a cotton ball. I have one of those like cotton wipes that you use for your face, like to clean your face. And so it's similar to the Q-tip and the Kleenex. If you have one that has two sides, different textures, make sure you're using the smooth side. Okay. But again, just lightly in a horizontal direction or a different direction than the way that you colored. In fact, this one I did a lot better with it. I didn't press as hard. I was going very slow. And so I was able to get a nicer, smoother transition. Okay. This last little box, I'm actually going to use the blending tool, which is a tortillion. And it is basically like rolled up paper, very soft, fine rolled up paper that's made into a point. And you can see it's actually rolled up and folded inwards. So you can see it's a tube. And all you're going to do is you're going to take that little tortillion tool and you're going to, again, color in that opposite direction. And you're going to pull that color and you're actually going to smooth it out and blend it together. And so you can actually see the purple starting to turn into purple between the red and the blue. And just like the Q-tip and the cotton ball and the Kleenex, it gets very dirty. And so you have to be very careful and very mindful of like where you're coloring. You can see that purple's been pulled into my red, and we actually see that full top layer where I use the tortillion to like blend in those empty gaps. Okay. And then I just added in some extra color there at the end because it did pull away some of my color and it didn't make it as bright anymore. So I added some more color into it. Okay. But that's how you use those blending tools. That's how you use the tortillion. Now I'm actually going to show you guys how to do the blending for the sunset colors. So I'll have the yellow, the orange, the red, the like pinkish, the red violet color, the purple, and of course the blue. And so it's the same process. In fact, I don't use any tools for this. I'm just using the color pencils by themselves. But you can see I started off with the layer of the yellow. I'm overlapping the layer of the orange, and then I'm going to overlap the layer of my red or the red violet on top of the orange. Again, changing the pressure as I'm coloring and adding these layers. Then I'll add the purple. Again, be careful when you get to these darker colors. You don't want to cover up your lighter colors too much because then you won't see them. In fact, my little shape was a little short, so I kind of extended it a little bit so we could see that blue. Okay, and that's how you use the blending. Oh, I did use a tool. I used the cotton swab. I liked it, but I made it like very like chalky. It kind of took away the brightness to it, so I had to go back and actually add some color in there, and that's okay. You can do that too. Okay.